So today's video is a dog's head. Now I saw this when I was perusing the 2019 Open as Open entries. I've been working my way through them and I saw this one and I thought that's something I've got to have a go at. Unfortunately the video was fine to watch as an entry, but it wasn't very clear. It was quite low quality, so I couldn't really see how it was all being done. So cheekily I commented, asked if there was any possibility of a better quality video, and to my surprise he said yep, and the next day there it was. So thank you ever so much for that, and I'm afraid I don't even know the gentleman's name. His channel is BC65925. I'll put a link to it in the description because he's got some quite interesting stuff on his site. So here we go. It's fairly simple. You need quite a few, or no, not quite a few. You need a few specialist tools, but they're easily made. There's lots of information on YouTube about how to make them, and if you can't find it, you know, let me know and I'll have to do a video to show you how to make them. So it's a sort of an intermediate project, I should think. It's not quite a beginner's, but it's not far off. So let's get into it. So before we get stuck in, someone asked me a while ago how I like my forge, and I sent him to the official link. Get the clinker out. That's from the old, or from the last burning. Yeah, I sent him to the official link, which I'll put a card up for you to have a look at if you're interested. But this is actually how I do it, and it's very underwhelming, so I don't quite know why he wanted to see it, but this is it. Get the gas axe on it. So literally just clean it out, take all the old clinker out, and then burn the bottom layer of coals. Get it all going. Doesn't take long. Turn her on. And then, because this is an updraft, or no, it's side draft, but on a T, there's a T-piece underneath. So I'm just going to take the T-piece, or the bung out of the T-piece, and then I've got this bit of rod, just poke up the hole, and it just releases all the built up gubbins in there. Then you put the bung back on, and away it goes. What's that? Oh, that's a bit of antler off my opener's opener. Right, so that's it. So that's the lighting of the fire. So let's get stuck in with the dog's head. So these are the tools you're going to need. So not particularly difficult to make, but slightly unusual. There's a half round chisel. This one, very ordinary. That's about a 5/16 rounded ended punch. Then basic bog standard centre punch. Now this is the only one I had to make. It's an eye punch. I don't know if you can see that, sort of a slightly oval eye punch. I had got eye punches, but not one that small. And then this half round chisel there. All of these I've had for making other heads, the horse and the ram. So if you haven't got those, you better go off and make them. If you can't find the links in the YouTube, you better let me know and I'll have to do a video. So I'm going to use some 30 by 6 inch and a quarter. Let's see how it turns out. First job, apart from getting the scale off, got it a bit warm. Take your half round chisel and imagine a centre line. Put the corner on the centre line and up to the top corner. You can see there what I mean. Then do exactly the same the other side. If I can get it lined up. So you're taking that piece out at the bottom there. I'm just going to get that hot again because that's Gone a bit cold. Alright, onto the cutting table. We'll have that out of there. Gone. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to quickly clean up that rag. It's a little bit untidy. So I'm just going to go over to the vise and I'm just going to do it with the slitting disc. It's like a, I don't know if it's a 1mm or a 0.8 slitting disc. So I'm literally just going to very gently go up the slot, just fits in there, and then just gently take off that tiny bit of a rag, hardly using any pressure. There's bound to be someone saying, oh, you can't do that with a cutting disc. Yes, you can. Go gentle. Right, that should be a bit tidier. If that'll focus, you'll see. No, it's not going to focus, but I think you get the idea. It's just tidied that up. So, what we've got to do now, I think those are a bit long, those jowls, but they'll probably be alright. Anyway, what we've got to do now is put a bend in it, right up close to the where that centre line is. So the easiest way is do it in the vise. So just put it, clamp it where that centre line finishes and knock it over. Simple as that. Then it's just a case of knocking it back onto itself. Keep it square. Keep it tight. Don't flatten it too much though, you know, don't give it too many beans. You just want to get it back in onto itself. You don't want to squash it. So you can see there it's just folded up nicely, and the next fold is going to be right at the end, just there where the end of those what are the gels finish. Obviously that's where you put it in, but you obviously get like the metal thickness extra when you bend it, so it's not actually where it will bend. It'll bend a bit further back, but that's where you want to put your thing in the vise. And again, knock it back on itself. You see there you've got a little bit extra at the bottom underneath. Again, keep it square, keep it tight, and that next job, just put a little bevel on the bottom of those gels, just gently knock them back in so it's not that nasty sharp edge. I don't know if you'll be able to see in this light, but yeah, you can just about see. Now the next bend is going to be a little bit further up. This time it's going to be about, I don't know, 3/8 or ½ inch up. This will create sort of the top of the face. So I'm just going to drop it down in the vise. I'd say about, I don't know, ½ inch, 3/8, something like that, 3/8. Yeah, probably. Because I say you'll get that bit extra, so probably 3/8, because then by the time you've got the extra bit of the width of the material, or thickness of the material, you see there. So that's the top of the head. I did make one of these. This is the second one I've made. Again, knock it back on itself, and then just gently squish it down over the edge. Don't go too mad because you'll get a line. Keep it all neat and level. Right, so that's what you've got so far. what I'm going to do next is try and put the ears in, just on each corner. As I say, I did make one of these when I first saw it. I was desperate to make it, so I made one out of inch quarter, and it came out a bit long. So I'm trying this inch and a quarter quarter, just to see if it comes up a bit squarer. You see, you're just punching into the corners and sort of forcing it away from yourself. What you want to do is sort of try and drag the ear out. So you're sort of pushing the material away from yourself. I suppose I could have used my anvil hold down to sort of really fix it to the anvil and then do it. As it is, I'm just resting it on my leg. And then you can just extend it a little bit more by just putting your punch on that raised edge you've made. You see there, you get an idea. It's actually a lot easier than it looks. And then his nose, just at the top of that split. I want to get it warm for that. That's not quite warm enough. Give him a little brush. Again, just force his nose out. You just want a little bit of a lump above the nose, just so it sort of gives a bit of shape to his face. And again, I'm just trying to push those ears out a little bit more. You don't want to flatten the ends out completely, because that gives him the shape to his ears, but you want to get them reasonably long. So this is the eye punch that I made today, just out of a bit of spring steel, and it's oval, so you want to make sure you get it the right way up. I'm doing it sort of ovalish, narrowish bit to the sides, just at a slight angle hopefully. One's a bit more of an angle than the other. Never mind. I say I had got an eye punch, but it was much too big. It's a bit squiffy eye. Never mind. Now this little half round punch I'm going to use for his mouth. And on the first one I made, which you can actually see on my Instagram account, I put it up there, I put the mouth up the wrong way. I did it that way. But this is the way it should go, or it was shown to go. But actually, if you look at the one on my Instagram account, it actually quite suits him, because it's quite a long face, sort of a hangdog face. There you go. This one's a little bit more of a smiley face. So we're nearly there. Going to put some whiskers in him. So that's the centre punch. Just literally a few dots around his jowls, random. Like so. Then the last thing is to do is to move his ears up. Just fold the ends of the ears over. So you can knock them up this way, or turn it over and just bang them down that way. Of course you can't see now, sorry. Let's just move the camera. There we go. Just literally sort of bend them down and then bring them back up. So you're just sort of rolling the top of the ear over. And that, just finish those bevels off a little bit more. That's basically it. So it's a fairly quick project. As I say, probably an intermediate. There you go. Let's give him a quick clean up. Have a proper look. I'm just going to get the wire brush on him. A bit of a tidy up. And you can use this to make all sorts of things. There you go. It was a bottle opener in the video I saw, but you could do anything with it. So there you go, nice little simple project, which I've thoroughly enjoyed doing. So thanks for watching, we'll catch you on the next one.